Yeah. Brooklyn winter got the sirens singing through the avenue. Snow look holy, so the corner start confessing. Yeah. Tim's crushed the ice by the bodega light flicker. Black bubble goose, chrome smoke drift thicker. Homicide, yellow tape dance by the hydrant. Young kings pray loud, but the project stay violent. Mama hear the trains cry over Myrtle nights, while the precinct write names underneath pale lights. I was 16, hand froze, clutching loose grams. Dreams buried alive in them staircase slow jam. December wind sting through the wool on my neck. Old fiends lean sideways, cashing souls for a check. Seen Rico get boxed by the cafeteria steps. Now his daughter wear his chain while she crying the Mets. Damn, Brooklyn, teach algebra with pain. Every scar got interest, every sin leaves stains. I write rhymes like autopsies, peel truth from flesh. Every bar smell metallic like the blood stay fresh. Snowfall cover sins, but the sidewalk no. Every footprint tell stories only graveyards hold. Brooklyn heartbeat under cracked concrete drums. Still I rap through the cold till the kingdom come. Black skies over Bed-Stuy, angels move slow. Young boys chase ghosts where the street lights glow. If karma got a ledger, then my name too long, so I bleed these confessions inside boom bap songs. Yeah. Let's lab room aura when the baseline breathe. Baritone cut deep like surgical steel teeth. Ashtray smoke crawl through the studio vents, while the engineer Luke paying for another 10 cents. 92 swing make the heartbeat stagger. Every snare hit hard like a judge slam hammer. Cassette hits hum underneath the piano. Tears sound like lost spirits trapped between the years. Look, detective found shells by the church that morning. Choir still sang while the sky kept storming. Little Malik had dreams bigger than the borough blocks. Now his face on murals by the barbershop. That's the code of the avenue. Quick rides, quick burial. Gold ropes and funerals became ceremonial. I seen hustlers turn prophets after close calls. Seen killers break down staring at hospital walls. Snowfall covers sins, but the sidewalk no. Every footprint tells stories only graveyards hold. Brooklyn heartbeat under cracked concrete drums. Still I rap through the cold till the kingdom come. Black skies over Bed-Stuy, angels move slow. Young boys chase ghosts where the street lights glow. If karma got a ledger, then my name too long, so I bleed these confessions inside boom bap songs. Street lamps flicker like courtroom evidence. Every breath outside, feel heaven sent. Cold air, burnt liquor, subway sparks fly. Another mother whisper prayers when the sirens ride. The city made monsters out of hungry sons. Now we toast to survival while the choir hums. My notebook stained dark like the alleys at midnight. Pen move heavy while the vinyl crackle sound right. Ghost of old Brooklyn trapped inside rhythm. Every kick drum echo through abandoned systems. I don't glorify death, I just document curses. Pain turns scripture when the struggle start verses. From Fulton to Nostrum, the winter state endless. Ambition and revenge sleep inside the trenches. And I still hear whispers through the radiated steam. Say the crown too heavy for a corner boy dream, but I carry that burden through the tunnel decay. Turn trauma into music so the black remember names. Last train screech loud through the borough fog. Another cold testimony carved inside my monologue. Brooklyn born sorrow with a kingpin cadence, forensic flow. Every rhyme leave traces. Flatbush nights, cold palms, dark halos. Boom bap forever. Brooklyn, never sleep. Brooklyn winter make the rooftops look haunted. Sirens sing through the avenue all night. Another case open. Another mother crying. Heavy snow drift past the corner liquor store. Black Air Max steps echo off the project floor. Young boy hold a chrome piece inside the parking lining. Dreaming about escape while the train wheels grinding. Hallway smell like bleach, smoke cheap beer. Old television static hum in the neighbor ear. Mama on the couch with exhaustion in her eyes. Bills stack high while the radiator dies. I came up where survival meant calculated movement, where the cops memorize faces more than improvement. Every handshake carry tension underneath it. Every fast dollar got a cemetery secret. Damn, seen a body zip near the basketball court. White sheets stained dark while reporters reckon now the whole block silent when the night wind passed. Cause death in Brooklyn move quick and fast. Cold evidence buried under snowfall. Street dreams shadow when the dark calls. Brooklyn heartbeat trapped inside the baseline. Lost souls drift through the late night train line. Boom bap drum with the homicide swing. Every crack snare make the sorrow sing. And the borough still breathe through the winter pain, while the dead boys whisper through the window rain. Studio room dim with the analog dust. Engineer tweak lows until the speakers erupt. Baritone texture thick like interrogation tapes. Each breath sound heavy with the weight of mistakes. 92 BPM lean crooked like crime scenes. Jazz loops cry soft underneath the siren screams. Kick drum hit like somebody knocking for revenge, while the hi-hat shake nervous through the lens. Look, I seen killers lose sleep from the faces they erase. Seen church girls fall for hustlers with cold traits. Seen old gangsters cough blood in silk robes while snow cover footprints outside broken homes. That's karma on the avenue, slow and methodical. The borough turn ambition into something psychological. You either become myth or another mural wall. Another black suit walk through another funeral hall. Buried under snowfall. Street dreams shadow when the dark calls. Brooklyn heartbeat trapped inside the baseline. Lost souls drift through the late night train line. Boom bap drum with the homicide swing. Every crack snare make the sorrow sing. And the borough still breathe through the winter pain, while the dead boys whisper through the window rain. Neon lights buzz over empty intersections. Young fiends chase peace through chemical injections. Somewhere in Flatbush, a preacher still praying while detectives outside keep yellow tape hanging. This music ain't fantasy, it's documentation. Yeah, Brooklyn trauma trapped inside vibration. I write verses like forensic observations, detail every scar from my generation. Brownsville staircases, late night paranoia, gunmetal reflections on the black Toyota. Subway tunnel moan underneath the moon glare. Cold air mixed with the scent of burnt air. Old heads play dominoes with exhausted stares, talking about the brothers that ain't still here. And the melody still soulful through the violence, like Marvin singing low while the borough stays silent. Every rhyme got fingerprints from past sins. Every bass line feel like jailhouse violins. I survived enough winters to respect the dead. Seen too many mothers bow their heads beside beds. Now my notebook carries stories nobody told. Brooklyn pain translated into bars of gold. Yeah. Another snowstorm over Kings County. Another ambulance cut through the darkness. Boom bap, forever, echo through the brick walls. And the spirits still ride through the low frequencies. Yeah. Brooklyn got a cold soul tonight. Snow drifting past the project windows. Another siren singing through the darkness. Yeah. Heavy coat wrapped tight by the pharmacy gate. Young killers talk low about money and fate. Street lamps shimmer off the ice like broken glass. Police cruisers cross slow every time they pass. Mama boil water cause the heat got cut again. Baby crying loud through the walls of the tenement. I learned pain from the avenue before puberty, where survival itself became a form of purity. Corner boys with dead eyes counting stained bills. Dreams disappear fast in the Brownsville hills. Old preacher outside say the borough curse, while another body rolled away inside the hearse. Damn, snow cover footprints near the train tracks, but karma always circle when the night come back. That's why my bars sound heavy with confession. Every rhyme another forensic observation. Brooklyn snowfall mixed with blood trails. Cold hearts trapped inside ghost tales. Boom bap drums through the hallway echoes. Lost souls drift where the dark wind settles. 92 swing with the homicide glide. Every low bass note sound haunted inside. And the borough still breathe through the funeral smoke, while the winter sky swallow every prayer spoke. Studio lights dim like interrogation chambers. Engineer Luke Pang through analog danger. Dust on the SP, wires tangled near the floor. Jazz sample cry through the half-broken door. Baritone vocals thick as midnight sermons. Each breath sound like the city still burning. Snare crack sharp like a courtroom verdict. Kick drum dirty, but the groove stay perfect. Look, my man Dre got booked by the age of 19. Now his daughter only know him through photographs seen. The streets don't love you, they just rent illusions. One bad night become headline conclusions. I seen queens cry outside emergency rooms. Seen hustlers lose sanity inside motel rooms. Brooklyn winter turn your spirit mechanical, where every conversation feels cinematic and criminal. Brooklyn snowfall mixed with blood trails. Cold hearts trapped inside ghost tales. Boom bap drum through the hallway echoes. Lost souls drip where the dark wind settles. 92 swing with the homicide glide. Every low bass note sound haunted inside. And the borough still breathe through the funeral smoke, while the winter sky swallow every prayer spoke. Outside the deli, the neon light buzz weak. Cold steam rise slow from the sewer beneath. Old heads play chess by the liquor crate stack. Talking about the dead homies never coming back. This ain't fantasy bars for applause and fame. It's the borough translated through trauma and pain. I still hear subway brakes inside my dreams late. Still smell wet concrete after crime tape. Every staircase got memories attached. Every hallway conversation coded in mass. The borough made poets out the most wounded souls. Turn fear into rhythm and grief into goals. That's why my cadence moves smooth but grim, like a funeral choir overload and drums dim. No diamonds in these verses, just survival scripture. Painting cold Brooklyn through forensic pictures. From Flatbush corners to Kingston decay, where ambition and death coexist every day. And somehow the melody's still soulful and warm, like old vinyl records in the middle of storms. Boom bap heartbeat under winter despair. Brooklyn pain forever floating through the air. Yeah, snow still falling over Kings County. Another name carved into the borough memory. Boom bap never died. The avenue still whisper through the speakers. Yeah. Brooklyn winter make the avenue feel cursed. Street lights blink through frozen smoke. Another night where the sirens don't sleep. Cold wind whip through the torn Parker's hard. Young boys posting near the corner bodegas arms. Snowflakes land slow on the shotgun still, while the whole block numb from the things they feel. Mama in the kitchen with the oven door cracked, trying to warm the apartment where the lights got black. Radio hum low with that soul loop pain as the train wheels scream through the midnight rain. I was raised where ambition wore dirty sneakers, where addicts taught prophecy to broken believers. Every staircase carried whispers of revenge plots. Every hallway smelled like cigarettes and gunshots. Damn, seen a homicide stained by the schoolyard fence. Now detectives take notes with emotionless pens. Brooklyn nights taught lessons no priest could preach, cause survival and death stay within arm's reach. Black snow drift through the borough sky. Lost souls move where the cold winds cry. Boom bap heartbeat under funeral drums. Another young king never making it home. Street lights flicker on the avenue scars. Karma rise slow in stolen cars. And the bassline moan through the winter decay, while the dead still walk through the melodies play. Studio room dark except the V-view glow. Dust flow slow while the SP-1200 roll. Engineered tweak vocals like forensic science. Baritone frequency stick with defiance. 92 BPM with the staggered swing. Every snare hit heavy make the hallway ring. Tape saturation dirty up the low end tone. Sound like pain got trapped inside the microphone. Look, my man Corey caught a slug over territory greed. Now his daughter hug his chain while she barely read. That's the tragedy buried inside the borough code. Young dreams die fast on icy roads. I see an old hustler stare, blink at liquor glasses. Haunted by the ghosts of forgotten past. Brooklyn made criminals out of wounded kids that blame the pain for the things we did. Black snow drift through the borough sky. Lost souls move where the cold winds cry. Boom bap heartbeat under funeral drums. Another young king never making it home. Street lights flicker on the avenue scars. Karma rides slow in stolen cars. And the bassline moan through the winter decay, while the dead still walk through the melodies play. Outside the laundromat the neon buzz faint. Cold air smell like whiskey and spray paint. Old women pray while the squad cars slide. Another yellow tape line where the young boy died on. It's the soundtrack for the forgotten blocks where pain get archived inside. Boom bap knock. I write rhymes like autopsy summaries, detail every trauma from the borough streets. Subway tunnels echo with exhausted souls. Every bass note carry stories untold. Jazz horns cry soft underneath the grit, while the kick drum slam like a loaded clip. And somehow the groove's still smooth and alive, like the city itself still fighting to survive. No fake glamour inside these bars written, only cold observations from survival conditions. Flatbush nights, Crown Heights sorrow, young kings living like they ain't promised tomorrow. Yet the music keep breathing through the project walls, even after funerals and police calls. Brooklyn bloodline trapped inside my tone, every verse sound carved from cracked stone. Yeah. Another winter storm over Kings County. Another memory buried under dirty snow. Boom bap, forever breathe through the basement speakers. And the avenue never forgets names. Snow drifting over Brooklyn rooftops tonight. Police scanners hung through the darkness. Another soul missing from the avenue. Timbs leave deep prints in the frozen cement. Young boy lost inside survival intent. Corner store neon, paint the puddles blue, while a whole block pray another night pulled through. Mama smoked cigarettes near the crack kitchen sink. Bills overdue, landlord ready to evict. I learned reality from the hallways early, where the cold made hearts emotionally dirty. Old heads posted near the dice game benches, talking about dead friends and unfinished vendettas. One cousin got buried with his chain still on. Another vanished after hustling too long. Damn. Brooklyn winter make your spirit turn steel when ambulance lights become familiar and real. Every bar right feel carved from tension, like homicide archives turned into confession. Ashes drip slow through the avenue air. Cold nights whisper death everywhere. Boom bap drums with the Brooklyn sway, while the ghosts of the borough still roam the pavement gray. Snowfall hides sins, but the karma stay close. Every young king dance with invisible ghosts in the low bass hum through the stairwell pain, like memories trapped inside midnight rain. Studio basement lit by equipment glow. Engineer cut samples from forgotten soul. Dust on the records, cables twist like snakes. Baritone vocals heavy with the weight of mistakes. 92 BPM with the crooked bounce. Snare crack loud, make the old walls bounce. Cassette text to dirty up the low end sound, like pain itself got physically wound. Look, I seen a mother collapse at the courthouse stairs, cause the sentence came longer than the prayers. Seen a stick up kid cry after his first body, hands still shaking in the back of the lobby. That's the psychology built inside these blocks. Young minds poisoned by survival thoughts. Brooklyn teach lessons through scars and funerals, through liquor store memorials and cold rituals. Ashes drip slow through the avenue air. Cold nights whisper death everywhere. Boom bap drums with the Brooklyn sway, while the ghosts of the borough still roam the pavement gray. Snowfall hide sins, but the karma stay close. Every young king dance with invisible ghosts, in the low bass hum through the stairwell pain, like memories trapped inside midnight rain. Outside the projects, the wind cut sharp. Train brakes, scream through the dark. Old preacher hold the Bible near the bus stop bench, while undercover cops circle, looking tense. This ain't glamorous tales for the magazines. This forensic poetry from the broken streets. I write rhymes like surveillance reports, detail every scar from the borough courts. Every alleyway got trauma attached. Every hallway conversation coded and masked. The groove stays soulful despite the despair. Jazz loops float through polluted air. Kick drum slam like rage in the chest, while the bass line crawl low and possess. Brooklyn raised kings with exhausted eyes, dreaming of escape underneath dead skies. Some became legends, some became names, spray painted on walls beside candle flames. And somehow the music's still warm and alive, like old vinyl records barely surviving. That's why my cadence moves smooth but grim, like champagne mixed with funeral hymns. Yeah, another winter over over Marcy houses. Another memory sealed in the borough veins. Boom back, forever. Echo through the cold bricks. And the avenue, still mourning rhythm. Yeah. Snowflakes swirl around the project windows. Brooklyn cold enough to freeze regret. Another ambulance cutting through the avenue tonight. Yeah, dark clouds hang low over Linden Boulevard. Teenagers with hollow eyes standing guard. Black bubble coats, cracked lips from the wind. Every staircase conversation soaked in sin. Mama pray quiet while the sirens pass by. Television blue lights dance across her eyes. Rent due Friday, refrigerator half empty, but the avenue still tempt me with envy. Old hustlers sip rum by the laundry spot, talking about brothers lost to a parking lot. I seen blood melt slow through the winter slush. Heard a mother scream loud enough to silence the bus. Damn, Brooklyn raised wolves inside broken homes, where every dream come attached with tombstones. That's why my verses sound scarred and reflective, like forensic documents written from perspective. Funeral smoke float through the avenue breeze. Cold karma moves silent through the leafless trees. Boom bap drums got the borough heartbeat. Heavy low and roll through the concrete streets. Snowfall cover pain, but the memories stay. Another lost soul vanishing into the gray. And the jazz loops cry while the night moves slow. The blackened corners of the winter snow. Studio smell like old wires and tobacco ash. Engineer tweaked the mix for that analog splash. 92 BPM with the drunken lean. Snare hit sharp like a crime scene scream. Bassline crawl low through the speaker dust. Baritone vocals stick with paranoia and trust. Tape saturation make the soul sound age like forgotten confessions trapped inside a cage. Look, I knew a kid named Marcus from the 8th floor hall. Dreamed about rap until the crack game called. First he bought sneakers, then he bought a pistol. Now his mural got candles and artificial crystals. That's Brooklyn irony painted in red. Ambition and death share the same bed. One hand on the mic, one eye on the street, cause survival taught us rhythm before defeat. Funeral smoke float through the avenue breeze. Cold karma moves silent through the leafless trees. Boom bap drums got the borough heartbeat. Heavy low and roll through the concrete streets. Snowfall cover pain, but the memories stay. Another lost soul vanish into the gray. And the jazz loops cry while the night moves slow through the blackened corners of the winter snow. Outside the bodega, the neon flicker weak. Cold steam rise from beneath the street. Old preacher mumble warnings near the train rail, while detectives zip coats through the hell. This ain't fantasies, pilots for fame. This Brooklyn trauma, translated in flame. I write verses like autopsy recollections. Every line built from borough imperfections. Subway breaks howl through the insomnia nights. Cop lights bounce off the dirty snow white. The groove still smooth despite the despair. Like soul records spinning through polluted air. Kick drum pound like anxiety attacks, while the hi-hats shake like loose train tracks. No fake kingpin glamour inside my narration. Only survival instinct and fractured motivation. From Crown Heights blocks to the Flatbush cold, where young dreams rust before they grow old. Still the music survive through the suffering scars, like broken halos floating above squat cars. Brooklyn DNA carved deep in my tone. Every rhyme sound like the borough zone. Another winter sealed inside the cassette. It's a memory. Another name whispered through apartment vents. Boom back, forever. Breathe through the cracked speakers. And the avenue never truly sleeps. Snow drifts sideways through the Marcy buildings. Helicopter lights cut across the clouds. Brooklyn breathing slow tonight. Black leather gloves in the January freeze. Young boy leaning near the flickering Chinese. Take out steam mixed with the cigarette smoke. Whole avenue tense like somebody just spoke. Mama hear the gunshots. Lower the blinds, praying the sun don't become another headline. Hallways smell like mildew and cheap gin. With cold nights turn boys into hardened men. I learned fear from the echo of police radios. From funerals where nobody really say goodbye. Slow seen blood leak warm through the snow near the curb. While the preacher stuttered trying to find the words. Damn, Brooklyn winter got a psychological chill. Make ambition and revenge overlap for real. That's why my cadence drag smooth but dangerous. Like crime scene photos nobody wanna discuss. Velvet crime scene underneath the snowfall. Boom bap drums echo through the brick walls. Cold karma move through the avenue haze. Every dead soul linger where the train tracks fade. Brooklyn heartbeat inside low bass tones. Lost dreams buried underneath crack homes. And the jazz loops cry through the wind of despair. While the borough leave ghosts floating in the air. Studio basement with the fluorescent hum. Engineer build rhythms where the dead still drum. Dusty MPC knock with the staggered swing. 92 BPM make the darkness sing. Baritone vocals thick like interrogation files. Every breath heavy with survival trials. Tape compression make the soul feel boxed like memories trapped in abandoned lock boxes. Look, I knew a stick-up kid named Leon from Gates. Used to write poetry between drug dates. One night the greed made the tension explode. Now his mother leave flowers where the ambulance slow. That's the irony stitched in the borough life. Young kings dream rich while surrounded by strife. One eye on the future, one hand near chrome. Cause Brooklyn never let the fragile stay whole. Velvet crime scene underneath the snowfall. Boom bap drums echo through the brick walls. Cold karma move through the avenue haze. Every dead soul linger where the train tracks fade. Brooklyn heartbeat inside low bass tone. Lost dreams buried underneath cracked homes. And the jazz loops cry through the wind of despair. While the borough leave ghosts floating in the air. Outside the liquor store the neon twitch weak. Old timers mumble stories through frozen teeth. Squad cars glide slow past the avenue fog. While subway brakes howl like wounded dogs. This ain't fantasy rap for radio spins. It's the anatomy of surviving sins. I write verses like evidence, summaries documenting pain from forgotten communities. Every hallway got trauma soaked in the paint. Every apartment window hides somebody faint. Still the groove stays soulful beneath the grime. Like Marvin on vinyl distorted by time. Kick drum slam with that chest cave knock. While the bass line crawled through the frozen blocks. No fake glamour in the tales I speak. Only cold survival from the borough streets. Flatbush winter make your heartbeat guarded. Where innocence disappeared before it started. Yet the music still shine through the darkness somehow. Like gold fronts glitter under storm clouds. Brooklyn DNA deep inside my tone. Every rhyme sound carved from cracked stone. Yeah. Snow keep falling over Kings County roofs. Another memory trapped inside an alec dust. Boom bap forever breathe through the underground. And the avenue still whisper names at night, 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 night. Yeah. Brownstone shadows, ambulance glow. Brooklyn winter, swallow souls slow. Project staircase smell like wet wool coat. Teenagers play king while they burying hopes. Black Timbs crush ice near the corner deli. Old man cough blood riding Lexington and jelly. Mama hears sirens through the radiator hiss. Everybody dream rich, most disappeared quick. Seen a preacher take money from a widow purse. Next week same preacher in the black hearse. That's karma in the borough where the snow turned pink. With survival instinct stronger than what people think. I was 16, pocket full of razor ambition. Notebook full of pain and suspicious descriptions. Homicide, yellow tape flooded like church flags. Kids learn math, counting shells in gym bags. Street lights flicker, crack smoke stained lungs. Every hallway echo with forgotten sons. I spoke deep so the older heads listen. Voice heavy like guilt locked inside prison. Girls love danger when the world feel numb. To the reaper knock hard and the heartbeat done. I seen mothers wipe tears with food stamp hands while politicians lie over televised scams. Still I rhyme cinematic over vinyl decay, trying to turn turn obituary lines into lyrical pay. Snow keep falling over Bedford nights. Red stains bloom underneath street lights. Every soul got debts they can't outrun. Brooklyn raised wolves underneath no sun. Tape his memories trapped in the drum. Cold wind whisper, another day come. If heaven got gates, they rust like steel. Only the real survive what the borough reveal. Yeah, yeah. Backroom poker games smell like cheap cigars. Drug kingpins argue over bulletproof cars. One man laughing while another man bleeding. That's the type lesson make a young wolf heathen. Detective camera flash hit the puddle water. Somebody's son gone, somebody still a father. Judge throw years like rice at a wedding scene. Meanwhile the system dirtier than kerosene. I learned silence from the killers at the train stop. Learned greed from executives at the rooftop. Funny how the suits and the crooks move alike. Both prey on fear when the city turned night. My cousin lost faith and started robbing tourists. Said morality broke when the rent too enormous. He died face down near a pawn shop window. Snow-covered body like God felt limbo. I wrote bars in the funeral back row. Pew passed to speak peace. Nobody really knew. Everybody act holy when the casket closed. Then go back outside selling poison in doses. That's the cycle of a borough built off tension. Jazz loops cry through the vocal compression. I ain't glorify pain, I document truth. Every scar my cadence came straight from the roof. With helicopters circle like mechanical crows. And death rides shotgun through the avenues slow. Snow keep falling over Bedford nights. Red stains bloom underneath street lights. Every soul got debts they can't outrun. Brooklyn raised wolves underneath no sun. Tape his memories trapped in the drum. Cold wind whisper, another day come. If heaven got gates, they rust like steel. Only the real survive with the borough reveal. Cassette spin walk inside the accurate deck. Heartbeat sync with the kick in the neck. Ghosts in the hallway still talk through the walls. Every empire eventually crumble and fall. I made scripture out the ash and despair. Turn pain into rhythm, thick enough to wear. Now the young boys quote my lines in the stairwell. Same place nightmares and gun smoke dwell. I tell them fame, don't erase the cemetery. Every crown in Brooklyn come temporarily. Look at the skyline, beautiful and vicious. Dreams get buried underneath politicians. Record label sharks love trauma for sales, but never ride trains where the cold soul lails. I kept receipts from every betrayal done. Every empty fridge and every day with none. Now my voice boom dark through the analog brain like thunder trapped forever inside human pain. If karma got eyes, then the block been watched. Too many cold cases never fully solved. Still I salute every mother, stay strong. Every lost kid searching purpose in song. Cause hip-hop ain't glitter, chains of fame. It's survival documentation wrapped in flame. Brooklyn taught me every sinner got scars. And every dead friend still live in these bars. When it never leave, it just learn how to breathe through us. Brooklyn forever. Brownsville winter. Ambulance, lights flicker off the wet pavement. Tim's heavy from the snow. Yeah. Everybody breathing smoke. Nobody sleeping peaceful. Street lamps hanging crooked over frozen intersections. Young boys learning survival before life give direction. Milk crates by the hallway, dice games in the lobby. Old fiends whisper prophecy with eyes cloudy probably. Mama said the cold make killers move quieter. That December air turned to desperation higher. Seen blood-stained snow near the corner store shutters while the radio plays soul from distorted old gutters. Cops slow rolling through the avenue suspicious. Everybody got ambition mixed with dangerous intentions. Project staircases smell like wet leather and stress. Gunmetal under bubble coats pressed close to the chest. I used to dream platinum plaques, velvet ropes, arenas. Now I analyze crime scenes through steamed up cleaners. Paranoid nights, hearing footsteps through the ceiling, trying to separate the hunger from the terrible feeling. Brooklyn nights, snowfall covering the sins. Cold wind outside, but the walls stay within. Jazz loops crying while the drums still knock. Every scar got a story from the edge of the block. Brooklyn nights, souls trapped in the gray, trying to outrun karma, but it never too late. Street gospel echo through the hallway slow. Bloodstains fade, but the memory don't go. Subway, platform, conversations low and discreet. Everybody calculating every stranger they meet. One friend caught a bid, another vanished in Queens. Third dude got rich, then got swallowed by schemes. That's the city. Fast money, slow funerals. Church choir voices mixing with police funerals. Black leather gloves, gripping notebooks and rage. Writing verses like evidence collected on the page. Neighborhood princesses with pain in their posture. Smiling through trauma while the cold air watching. Kids on the rooftop passing bottles in silence. Dreams buried young underneath cycles of violence. I studied every hustler with forensic precision. Trying to see what made ambition turn prison. Hip-hop was the autopsy table for the pain. Every rhyme uncovered, pressure buried in the brain. Brooklyn nights, snowfall covering the sins. Cold wind outside, but the war stayed within. Jazz loops crying while the drums still knock. Every scar got a story from the edge of the block. Brooklyn nights, souls trapped in the gray, trying to outrun karma, but it never too late. Street gospel echo through the hallway slow. Bloodstains fade, but the memory don't go. 94 atmosphere. Tape deck spinning in the dark. Every rhyme like a case file. Every heartbeat sync to the kick drum. Now the older heads gone, murals fading from walls. Liquor stores replace spots where legends used to call. Still hear echoes in the tunnel when the train passed through. Like the borough talking back every time I move. Survival left fingerprints all over my spirit. Every lesson got weight, every scar make you hear it. I seen loyalty dissolve over envy and fear. Seen fake love disappear when the pressure get near. But the music kept breathing through the smoke and decay. Turned the grief into rhythm, gave the darkness a face. So I rap for the cold nights, the lost and unseen. For the ghosts in the burrow trap somewhere in between. Snow keep falling over no strand and gates. Saxophone. Saxophone crying through apartment vents. Old tape spinning slow in the darkness. Brooklyn, never sleep. It just remember. And just remember. Yeah. Brooklyn winter got the sirens singing through the avenue. Snow look holy, to the corner start confessing. Yeah. Tim's crushed the ice by the bodega light flicker. Black bubble goose, chrome smoke drift thicker. Homicide, yellow tape dance by the hydrant. Young kings pray loud, but the project stay violent. Mama hear the trains cry over Myrtle nights, while the precinct write names underneath pale lights. I was 16, hand froze, clutching loose grams. Dreams buried alive in them staircase slow jam. December wind sting through the wool on my neck. Old fiends lean sideways, cashing souls for a check. Seen Rico get boxed by the cafeteria steps. Now his daughter wear his chain while she crying the Mets. Damn, Brooklyn, teach algebra with pain. Every scar got interest, every sin leaves stains. I write rhymes like autopsies, peel truth from flesh. Every bar smell metallic like the blood stay fresh. Snowfall cover sins, but the sidewalk no. Every footprint tell stories only graveyards hold. Brooklyn heartbeat under cracked concrete drums. Still I rap through the cold, to the kingdom come. Black skies over Bed-Stuy, angels move slow. Young boys chase ghosts where the street lights glow. If karma got a ledger, then my name too long, so I bleed these confessions inside boom bap songs. Yeah. Let's lab room oral when the baseline breathe. Baritone cut deep like surgical steel teeth. Ashtray smoke crawl through the studio vents, while the engineer loop paying for another 10 cents. 92 swing make the heartbeat stagger. Every snare hit hard like a Judge Slam hammer. Cassette hiss hum underneath the piano. Tears sound like lost spirits trapped between the years. Look, detective found shells by the church that morning. Choir still sang while the sky kept storming. Little Malik had dreams bigger than the borough blocks. Now his face on murals by the barbershop. That's the code of the avenue. Quick rides, quick burial. Gold ropes and funerals became ceremonial. I seen hustlers turn prophets after close calls. Seen killers break down, staring at hospital walls. Snowfall cover never sins, but the sidewalk know. Every footprint tells stories only graveyards hold. Brooklyn heartbeat under cracked concrete drums. Still I rap through the cold till the kingdom come. Black skies over Bed-Stuy, angels move slow. Young boys chase ghosts where the street lights glow. If karma got a legend in my name too long, so I bleed these confessions inside boom bap songs. Street lamps flicker like courtroom evidence. Every breath outside, feel heaven sent. Cold air, burnt liquor, subway sparks fly. Another mother whisper prayers when the sirens ride. The city made monsters out of hungry sons. Now we toast to survival while the choir hums. My notebook stained dark like the alleys at midnight. Pen move heavy while the vinyl crackle sound right. Ghost of old Brooklyn trapped inside rhythm. Every kick drum echo through abandoned systems. I don't glorify death, I just document curses. Pain turns scripture when the struggle start verses. From Fulton to Nostra to Winter State, endless ambition and revenge sleep inside the trenches. And I still hear whispers through the radiated steam. Say the crown too heavy for a corner boy dream, but I carry that burden through the tunnel decay. Turn trauma into music so the block remember names. Last train screech loud through the borough fog. Another cold testimony carved inside my monologue. Brooklyn born sorrow with a kingpin cadence, forensic flow. Every rhyme leave traces. Flatbush nights, cold palms, dark halos. Boom bap forever. Brooklyn, never sleep. Winter breathe heavy over Crown Heights tonight. Subway sparks in the distance. Somebody ain't making it home. Yeah. Gray sky hang low over pit-stained stairs. Blue lights flash ghosts through the project air. Black leather gloves, cigarette ember glow. Young blood on the pavement melting through the snow. Mama keep the chain locked tight after midnight. Cause the hallway echo different when the cash right. I learned survival from the fiends near the deli store. Eyes hollow like they seen the devil in the corridor. Brooklyn taught me hunger with mechanical precision. Cold kitchens, eviction notices, bad decisions. Now the baseline knock like a courtroom pounding. Every snare feel violent when the city keep drowning. Look, funeral roses froze stiff in the backseat. Priests whisper low while the widows can't speak. My cousin died young with his dreams in the ashtray. Now his name float forever through the hallway. Snowflakes fall on the barrel smoke. Street lights flicker while the lost souls choke. Brooklyn nights got revenge in the air. Every cold breath carry trauma somewhere. Boom bap drums make the heartbeat ache. Another lost king vanished by the daybreak. If sin leave evidence, then the block stay marked. Cause every alley in the borough got a permanent scar. Studio smell like dust, wires burnt liquor. Tape hiss underneath the vocal getting thicker. Engineer cut loose with forensic attention. Every low frequency carry pain and tension. 92 swing make the rhythm lean sideways. Heavy kick drums bounce through the stairways. Baritone voice deep like interrogation rooms where detectives write confessions underneath fluorescent moons. I seen young shooters panic after one body. Seen old hustlers cry drunk inside hotel lobbies. The karma in the borough move silent but exact. One wrong move and the reaper strike back. Damn, when the rain hit the windows like threats, while the radio plays sorrow over dusty cassette decks. My notebook filled with obituaries and codes. Every verse smell cold like abandoned road. Snowflakes fall on the barrel smoke. Street lights flicker while the lost souls choke. Brooklyn nights got revenge in the air. Every cold breath carry trauma somewhere. Boom bap drums make the heartbeat ache. Another lost king vanished by the daybreak. If sin leave evidence, then the block stay marked. Cause every alley in the borough got a permanent scar. Outside the laundromat, the sirens keep singing. Broken halo energy over late night dealings. Cash rules dreams, but death move faster. Some boys chase crowns, some become disasters. The borough don't forget what the streets consume. Names fade slow when the candles bloom. I walked through Flatbush with exhaustion in my eyes. Heard the train brakes scream underneath black skies. Old woman praying by the church in mink fur, while a teenager bleed through his Yankee sweatshirt. That contradiction built the borough I survived in. Jazz samples cry while the dirty drums vibing. Every rhyme document pain with precision, like a homicide file stacked floor to ceiling. I ain't rapping fantasy, I'm sketching autopsies of broken ambition and corner hypocrisies. The game took brothers faster than the wind of pneumonia. Now the park benches whisper names like memorials, and somewhere in Bed-Stuy, mother still awake, staring at the window while the pipes still shake. Brooklyn cold made my spirit ironclad, turned grief into rhythm and nightmares in the past. Yeah. Another season buried under dirty snow. Another name painted on the wall. Boom bap. Forever breathe through the barrel. And the dead still echo through the kick drums. Yeah. Cold season over Brooklyn again. Ambulance, lights, paint the snow red tonight. Another young king disappeared into the avenue. Timberlands drag through the frozen slush slow. Night air smell like gunpowder mixed with hydro. Atlantic Ave glow through the pharmacy haze. Young hustlers trace souls in the staircase maze. Broken elevator, piss stains near the lobby. Old crackhead preaching revelations to nobody. I was raised where survival became religion, where the cops write reports but ignore the children. Street corner theology under dirty street lamps. Fiends warm their hands near abandoned camp cans. My cousin used to dream about a Lexus and fame. Now his obituary laminated near the train. Damn, the borough cold enough to numb its tuition. Death moves silent with professional precision. That's why my bars hit heavy like evidence crates. Every rhyme documenting what the city creates. Bloodstains fade, but the winter remember. Cold hearts burn through the middle of December. Brooklyn nights got vengeance in the wind. Every prayer sound cracked when survival began. Boom, boom, bap, echo through the hallway walls. Lost angels wonder where the darkness crawl. And the drums still knock while the sirens cry. Another soul vanish underneath black skies. Studio basement smell like dust and mildew. Engineer Luke Payne with technique surgical. Low end rumble, shake the ceiling pipes hard. Snare slap sharp like detectives pull cards. 92 BPM with the swing half drunk. Baseline crawl low through the cigarette funk. Baritone resonance thick as interrogation tapes. Every breath sound trapped in the chamber of fate. I seen mothers identify sons at Bellevue, while reporters outside fabricate what hell do. Meanwhile the block still hustle through the blizzard. Teenagers clutch chrome like emotional scissors. Look, Karma in Brooklyn move patient and slow like snowfall covering footprints nobody know. 1 minute you rich off a package exchange, next minute your portrait framed beside the candle flames. Bloodstains fade but the winter remember. Cold hearts burn through the middle of December. Brooklyn nights got vengeance in the wind. Every prayer sound crack when survival begin. Boom, boom, bap, echo through the hallway walls. Lost angels wonder where the darkness crawl. And the drums still knock while the sirens cry. Another soul vanish underneath black sky. Outside the corner store the neon hum weak. Hunger make monsters out the quietest streets. So we head sick, brandy by the heat event glow. Talking about the brothers we buried years ago. This ain't glamour, this survival music. Pain translated through analog acoustics. I write verses like case files stacked in drawers. Every memory got fingerprints from borough wars. Brownsville nightmares still circle my sleep. Hear the train wheels screaming while the avenue weak. Jazz sample more soft underneath the static hum, while the kick drum hit like a shotgun drum. This the soundtrack for forgotten apartment pain, for snow covered funerals and mothers in rain. No fairy tales carved inside these bars, only trauma reflections underneath cop cars. Yet the melodies still float soulful and warm like ghosts sing harmony through the winter storm. Brooklyn raised me rugged, emotionally scarred, made my voice sound heavy like prison yard bars. Now heavy rhyme become forensic scripture, painting cold crime scenes through poetic pictures. Yeah, Flatbush, breathing through the speakers. Another winter, another funeral suit. Boom back, forever live in the borough veins. and the dead still travel through the baseline.